thank you so much for joining me here in the Bead Club Lounge. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really simple pair of earrings. All you're going to need are some super duo beads and size 11 seed beads. The full tutorial is going to be available over on my blog, so be sure to check that out after you're done watching this video. So let's get started. Alright, so I have 12 super duos on my needle here, and I'm just going to slide those down my thread, leaving about a 3 or 4 inch tail. You don't need a long tail for this. And then I'm just going to pass back through the first holes of all of those super duos again. So just like that. And then make sure you hold on to your tail so the beads don't fall off. And you're just going to pull that into a circle. And I'm going to pass through the very first super duo again through that same first hole, and that will complete that circle. And you can pull, just hold onto your thread and pull really tight, and you get something that looks like this. And from here, I'm going to flip my work so it's easier for me to work with. I'm coming out of this super duo right here, and I'm going to pass through the second hole of that same super duo, reversing my direction. And I'm going to pick up one seed bead, size 11, and pass through the second hole of the very next super duo. And I'm just going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, so I'm adding my very last seed bead in that space there, and I'm going to pass through the first seed bead as well. So I have a complete circle of seed beads there, and I've gone through the first seed bead that I added. And from here I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, and I'm going to pass through the very next seed bead. And you'll have something that looks just like this. And again, we're going to repeat this step all the way around our circle. So 3 seed beads and pass through the very next seed bead. Alright, so I'm just adding my last 3 seed beads here. So I'm passing through the very final seed bead in my circle. And this is what I have so far. From here, I'm going to pass through the very first 2 seed beads in my little peak here. So if you can see my group of 3 seed beads right there, I'm just going through the first 2. So I'm coming out of that center seed bead in the peak. And I'm going to pick up 2 super duos. So just like that, and I'm going to go through the next seed bead in the center of the next group of 3. So you can see if you move it just like that, you can see that group of 3 there, and I'm going through that center one. And I'm going to repeat this step all the way around again. This pattern is very easy because it's very repetitive. Okay, I'm just adding my last 2 super duos here. And if you have any trouble figuring out which is the center seed bead because they all look alike to you, you can always use a different color for that middle seed bead in the group of 3 group of 3 seed beads. You can always use a second color so that you'll know exactly which one you have to pass through for this particular round. Okay, so now that I've added all of my super duos here, I'm coming out of the seed bead that I passed through to add my last pair of super duos, and I'm going to continue through the first hole of the very next super duo. So we're going to turn around and we're going to pass through the second holes of the very next two super duos. So I'm coming out of the first hole of this super duo, and I've just turned around and passed through the second holes of the next two. And we're going to pull that thread through. And you're not really going to see that bit of thread that's left there when you're done. And from here, we're going to pick up 3 seed beads, and we're going to pass through the next 2 second holes of our super duos. I'm going to pull that through. So 3 seed beads and pass through the next 2 holes of the super duos, through the second holes, I should say. And you're going to keep doing this all the way around. Alright, so I'm adding my last 3 seed beads here, and I'm just going to go through the second holes of the next 2 super duos. And then I'm going to tie my thread off because we are done. So this is what you're going to have. And some of these seed beads that you added may lay a little flat, so you can actually just go back and use your needle to kind of pop them out, just like that. So they stand out. It's a really simple, easy earring, and I'm just going to show you how to tie thread off because I had questions about that. I usually do show you though. So my thread is coming out between the super duo here and that first seed bead. So I'm going to just put my needle underneath those 2 beads so that I can actually like rest the beadwork on my needle. And I'm going to pull the thread through, just leaving a little loop, and just pass my needle through the loop. And when you pull it, you just want to make sure that the thread stays in between those 2 beads where you're trying to make the knot, and you pull, and there you go. You have a knot right there. And after you create a knot like that, I always like to pass my needle through a couple more beads afterwards so that it helps to pull that thread through into one of those beads, and you can actually feel it when it kind of pops in there, and that helps to secure that knot. And you can do that as many times as you like around your beadwork, and just cut this excess thread off, and repeat that same process for your tail thread just to cut that off. And when you're done, I have an example here. Let me just zoom out. So when you're done, you can attach an earring hook with using a jump ring, just attach it to one of the peaks here, and you have a lovely pair of earrings all finished. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click that red subscribe button if you are new here. Don't forget to check out the written tutorial over on my blog. The link is in the description box down below. And if you want to take a look at my recommended beading supplies, you can do that in my Amazon store, and I'll leave that link below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.